Yo, 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 welcome back. I took the weekend off, had a bit of time off, so I did say I was going to jump back on Saturday, but I figured stuff it, I'm going to have a bit of personal time, so that was nice. But coming back to this with fresh ears, I did do one thing though, however. So I found a vocal which I made, which is this, I'll show you.
We are all connected.
And I've just put up like a bit of a processing chain for it. Actually, no, I did make a processing chain, it's here. But then I bounced it out. So it's just Echo Boy. Oop, drag that in there so you guys can see. Micro shift. Little Alter Boy, of course, because you can't do vocals without it. The Mag EQ, just doing... Oop. Let me drag that into view. There you go, that one as well. The SPL Free Ranger, which is a free EQ. And that one's just doing same again, a bit of mid-high boosting, 1K around there, and then 16K giving it a bit more air, and then just a bit more distortion, give it a crunchy feel. So yeah, that's pretty much that. Now I have to go and close all of them, but at least you guys can see. You can pause it and get the settings, all that kind of stuff, go for it. But that's just what worked for this. I wouldn't do it all the time, but that's what worked for this. And then just an EQ to carve, boost, etc. So yeah, and then I layered this. This was the original.
We are all connected.
As you can hear, it's really effed it up. And then I've just kind of layered it with a couple of AI voice ones.
We are all connected. We are all connected.
And it just makes it sound spookier and more chorusy and full because there's like 4 different vocals going. So yeah, a bit different, but yeah, pretty cool. And then that just goes before the first drop and the last drop. So here you go. I'll just play it quickly for you. Oh.
We are all connected.
Just put it here as well. For the most part, this track's pretty much done now. Like, there's not too much more I can change. There's too much more I can do. I will mix it down and then pretty much send it off to the label and see what they have to say. Maybe they want a few little changes, or it'll be a yes and a no. So it's straight up. If it's a no, then so be it. I get it mixed and keep it for sets or whatever and move on to the next one. So that's the whole purpose of this, just to keep writing. But yeah, no, I hope you guys like it, and it sounds really good. On my end, it sounds really good. I'm really happy with it. I can't fault the lead or anything now, so I think it's just come together really, really nicely, and it's been worth spending the time on it to get it right. However, it's I wouldn't say it lacks in other areas, but we could definitely maybe just try and find a few more little things to fill it out. Potentially a couple more little breakdown elements and things like that. Nothing too major, because it doesn't need much, and I don't want to make it too melodic, but more maybe like a couple more little pad layers and things like that. So that's what I'm going to focus on today, and then it's pretty much there. We've got the pads and everything else coming through the drop. It'll just be a matter of bouncing everything out properly and starting again type thing. But like I said, I'll be doing the mix down in a separate fashion. So we'll keep it just riding here for now. But yeah, no, other than that, sounding really, really good. So, oh yeah, I'm not sure whether you guys saw or not, but yeah, I've done a bit of itemizing in terms of like grouping things. I want to group these two. These are the little glitchy things. I'm going to definitely add a few more of them in as well, but I'll muck around with them later on. But like I said, less is more, so it doesn't really need much at the moment. I'll probably send it off and get a bit of feedback and go from there. Vocal. I'm just going to rename a few things quickly. This is the fun part. Glitch. This one's not doing anything. Maybe I can turn that back on too. Yeah, maybe what I might do, I'll unfreeze this, and I might use that as a pitch bend, because I do like that sound, but I want it pitching up. I do want to kind of create a bit of a building effect and not make it sound EDM-y. That's going to be the troublesome part, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. So I'll just go all the way up like that. And then, where are we? Pitch mod, okay. This is that drift one, so I don't really know how to use this actually. Not yet anyway. Mod, okay. LFO. Oh, pitch bend range, there we go. It's right in front of me. Let's go 12 on all these. And then that will give us hopefully what we want. Perfect. Like I said, anyway, I can bounce it out and chop it up and do all that in the mixing stage and do a bit more stuff with it, but I'll leave it as is for now. I'm not really too fussed, and I'll just leave it at that volume. So that's fine. I'm going to leave that. I'm just going to call this riser. And I always try and love to do more synth-occupied risers, more like you're doing it on an actual synthesizer in general. And so it's always going to be a more fitting sound for techno as opposed to some sort of bloody Axwell flanged riser or something, you know what I mean? It's a bit too EDM-y for the genre, in my opinion, but what do I know? So do it as you please, but yeah, try and remember that you do want it to sound fitting and somewhat organic. Oh yeah, and then I made the change this a little bit too. So I just want to copy that there, and copy the automation too. Okay, let me work on the breakdown now. I reckon we'll get this done today. It's pretty much there. So, a couple of things I noticed. Let's go 30, and then, yeah, perfect. 30 and 30. And I just wanted to make sure, yeah, that's on 30. They are panning pretty wide. Even smaller, like 15, 15, and then 15, 15, 12, 15, that'll do it, whatever. Yep. Copy that one through. I do want them panning a bit, and then they can just copy it on the bottom too. Perfect. I actually like that even more. I might make them even a bit less in this last drop. Maybe bring that one up just a touch to 19 or so. There we go. Have a little bit of variation, and then same here, 18. Let's go 21, whatever. Perfect. Breakdown time. Let's have a geese. So, I love this pad, by the way. Let's hear this one. Maybe get rid of these ones. And then instead of having them, because they give away what's going to happen in the second drop, maybe just have the... I don't want to give too much of the last drop away, but we want the cinch shots as well. This is where it gets tricky. Well, honestly, I reckon just keep it simple. Is always the best. mixing stage, I'll mix it as best as I can in this arrangement now, which I'll give a bit away on that soon. But yes, basically for the most part, you want to try and group and categorize everything just so it makes life easier. So this is like our effects bus. And that way you just go through, you mix it all the best you can in these groups, and you bounce these groups out, and then you go through and mix it all again, you know, in a separate kind of instance. But yeah, for the most part, like the project's pretty well mixed. I get asked all the time, people are always like, how do you mix? And it's just like, you do want to do it as you go, so you eliminate the hassle later on. Like I'm not going to do monumentally different things to what I've done in terms of like sitting everything. It's just really going to be more surgical EQing, a little bit more compression, double checking reverbs, effects, sends, things like that, and just making sure that everything is, very precise, cohesive, and, you know, I guess where it should be sitting in the spectrum. So for the most part, we're pretty much done, hey? Like the song's pretty much there. Yay. So I reckon we'll end it on a good note. And I'll be doing something in the coming days in regards to where you guys can access where I'm going to start mixing this stuff down. I'm going to do a bit of a different thing for the mixing of songs because I really want to keep the YouTubers to like just continuously writing and that kind of stuff. So I'm going to create a bit more of a community around where you can go and basically like a smaller subscription service, to put it that way. And then that way we can go through and do the mixes together, and you guys can get it. Like there'll be longer videos as well, but they'll be more in depth into how I would go about doing it. Getting it to a playable standard is probably the most important thing. I don't really master my songs anymore. I would prefer to get a really good engineer to do them, just because the product's always going to be much, much better than what you can do at home. Sorry to anyone who thinks that they're a wizard on Ozone or any other sort of mastering gear. It's like you can. I certainly can, but I would prefer to get another person's ears on it, because they'll pick up things that you know, maybe I've become too biased towards and things like that. And I just feel that really good engineers will take it that extra 10-20%, and that's a big difference when you think about the overall product of the song. You know, it's like it needs to be taken to that next level for it to really hit in all the right places. Otherwise, it will lack if you do it yourself, if you're not experienced enough. And when I say experienced enough, I mean like no one who's doing it at home is experienced as the guys that, you know, have all the analog gear and spend their livelihoods doing it. I don't think anyone in a home kind of setup can get it sounding as good as them. Let's be brutally honest. It's not just me being a dick. It's like, let's be brutally honest. I know that even in a million years, I could probably never get it as good as what some of the engineers can do in 5 minutes. So yeah, we've got to suck up our pride a little bit sometimes and just admit that, you know, you can definitely do like a playable master. Definitely get it to a point where you're like, all right, if I got a gig this weekend, or you know, I got someone who's playing a show, whatever it is, it's like you can get it to a point where you know it's not going to sound like absolute trash on whatever system they're playing it on. That's great. Definitely a good like band-aid or patch job, but for the most part, you should always, especially labels as well, you need to get stuff properly done. So I hope that's a bit of insight for you guys, and there will be more in regards to what I'm going to be doing with this in the coming days, so keep an eye out for that. But as for tomorrow, we will be starting a new song, so I'm really, really keen for that. I'm excited to see the back end of this one too, in the nicest way, because we're up to version 51 now. We capped it at 51 videos for this song, so that's pretty good. I'm hoping to like halve that for the next one and the one after, but that's a pipe dream. That's something to work towards anyway. I don't think if you want to write good quality music, you will be able to do it in that way. Maybe when the process is much easier, but I feel with techno and stuff, you kind of can't, because you're really spending a lot of time getting synths that work with your low ends and getting the low ends right and getting the hats right. And there's a lot of details in it, you know what I mean? As opposed to other things. So I won't go there because that's another big rant / conversation in itself. But I do feel that yes, you will spend a lot of time writing this stuff and getting everything to merge properly together as it should. So it's never and that's the thing I love about it personally too. That's the reason why I swapped over from what I was doing to this stuff, because like it's the same challenge every time. Like now I've got to go and start from scratch again, write a low end again, find what synths work with that low end, all that kind of stuff. And for some reason, like, this is why I do it. I just absolutely love the struggle of doing it. I don't know why. I know it's a really dumb thing to say, but hopefully that makes sense to someone. It's like you have to enjoy the struggle of the satisfaction of finally getting it right after like 600 goes. So it makes it worthwhile in the end. You know, it's a greater reward really for the suffering that we put ourselves through. But anyway, thank you guys so much. If you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe. And I really hope you learnt a lot out of this series on this one. And I'm really excited to rip into the next one tomorrow. Yes. So I've got an idea in A minor that I want to do. So yes, let's rip in. I'll see you guys then.